Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome AMLE Executive Director, Dr. Will Weidlich.
Wow, what do you think of Philadelphia? Do you still love middle school? Do you really love middle school students? You've completed 2 days of amazing professional development specifically designed for middle grades educators. With over 500 sessions and 60 topics at AMLE 2017, you should have found some practical and innovative ideas you can use immediately in your school and classroom. Also, you probably connected with other dedicated and passionate middle-level educators to enhance your work with your middle school students. In today's session, we're going to celebrate why middle school is worth fighting for. But first, we want to celebrate a little different. You may have noticed that AMLE will be hosting a middle grade summit in Hawaii in February. That's right. At the Hawaii Association of Middle Schools booth, you had a chance to enter a drawing for 3 nights lodging and a conference registration. Did anybody enter? We're about ready to announce our winner. So our winner is from Pennsylvania. Anybody from Pennsylvania? Our winner is from Belafonte Area Middle School. Are they here? All right. Is Jennifer Kerr here? Jennifer's gets it. Go give it back there. Sandy? Congratulations to Jennifer. We look forward to seeing you in Hawaii. Speaking of traveling, as you consider your school calendar for 2018-19, we encourage you to consider including October 25th through 27th, 2018 in your staff development calendar as you're planning the rest of your educational journey in the middle grades. Join us in Orlando, Florida for AMLE 2018. We look forward to seeing you in the land of small mice and ducks and things like that. And we'll celebrate just like we're celebrating here in Orlando. But in this city, in 1776, a group of individuals fought for respect and independence like you do every day. In today's general session entitled, "We Hold These Middle School Truths to Be Self-Evident and Worth Fighting For," our featured educational thought leader and passionate middle-level advocate, Rick Wormley, will be celebrating teaching and learning in our middle schools. So let's take a minute and imagine we're back in 1776 and the Second Continental Congress.
I am never going to be a middle school teacher. How lame is that?
You'd be surprised, Charlie. My pre-algebra teacher, Miss Polynomial, she's often hungry, said that she didn't understand algebra when she was in middle school herself, but then understood in high school, and now she teaches it.
Yeah, Gilda, well, this trip to Philadelphia stinks. There's nothing here. No wonder why they moved the capital of the United States from here to D.C.
This is where it all started, Charlie, the Declaration of Independence and all that important stuff. And stop whining. We have a food voucher for the Delaware Service Plaza on the way home.
All the important stuff, like we care about genre or the Treaty of Versailles. Tell me how to write lyrics to One Republic songs, shoot 3-pointers, and make apps that people would want to buy. Then I might listen.
That and read the new Black Spider-Man comics. Come on, there are more important things.
Hey, Black Spider-Man is becoming canon. You don't mess with Miles Morales.
The secret lies with Charlotte? The secret lies with Charlotte.
Charlotte? Benita? What, like Charlotte Danielson? I like her framework, if you catch my drift.
Oh, Charlie, you are so gonna be a teacher. Now get your mind out of the gutter and have some respect.
What can I do? I'm a normal 8th grader who notices these things. Besides, you're always making eyes at your math teacher, arithmetic mean. I find him very average. I am too funny for Philadelphia.
He does look nice against the glow of a smartboard, but never mind that, back to the puzzle.
We don't have much time down here. The lady docent leading our field trip will notice we're gone in a few minutes. We have to make it back through the secret passageway before time runs out.
So Charlotte, huh? Charlotte who?
Maybe it's just Charlotte, like Beyonce.
Could be. What was it that the old man said as he gave us these codes again? Watch the trail from the Chamber of Secrets to the Forbidden Forest, Harry. It isn't so itsy-bitsy, is it?
Spiders, right? The clue's about spiders?
Spiders? Spiders. There are real spiders. Here, where?
Easy, Scourge of Aragog. Don't go all Ron Weasley on us.
Wait, could it really be that easy? Spiders? How about the spider? The Declaration of Middle-Level Independence? Oh, that's some pig. Oh, Charlotte, you've been quite busy. Terrific.
Charlotte, like Charlotte's Web? Wait, are we the pigs she's trying to save from slaughter? And I am no Templeton.
Calm down, Shaggy. Have another Scooby snack.
He would have gotten away with it, too, if it hadn't been for us meddling kids. For proper tesseracting to the origins of middle school independence, please press the big red button. This is quite the wrinkle in time.
Wait, we're gonna press it? Here, now. I can't tesseract, I've got science homework.
I think your teacher will understand. Well, Alice, when in Wonderland, drink what's in the cup.
I tell you, Mr. Monroe, it is quite clear.
We've got a lot of writing.
There is no accounting for the 10 to 15-year-olds in the high school, nor are they suited for the proclivities of elementary education. Why, they are unique in all of educationdom.
Witness their witless nature, my good man. They cling to their social media. They only listen partially, and they declare the Kardashians a sovereign nation. No! This is not good for the new republic, I tell you.
Come, Mr. Monroe. Even our respected colleague, Mr. Adams, sees the merit of our argument. Remember, not only to say the right thing in the right place, but even further difficult still, to leave unsaid the wrong thing at the tempting moment.
Yes.
He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else.
What are you, a walking almanac?
And more, poor Richard, consult me annually.
Who is Richard?
Gentlemen, your counterpoints may well grow on me, but we need to arraign our collective purpose. We claim a noble calling, the commonwealth of this separate educational colony. But in truth, we need a proclamation of great consequence that binds us in our common cause, that of the middle-level student and his or her teachers.
Hear, 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 hear.
Hear, hear, gentlemen. Perhaps we should begin by listing our common grievances.
Yes.
I second that one, General Washington. And let me be the first to remind our gathering that middle schools are not junior versions of high school. To recreate the high school model, scaled down for 10 to 15-year-olds, is not only insufficient, it thwarts maturation. They are truly different.
Hear, hear.
Indeed.
Gentlemen, Tim was so learned that he could name a horse in 9 languages. So ignorant he bought a cow to ride on. We mustn't succumb to the misbelief that children are merely a circus of hormones, sans intelligence, or mere parrots simply to be trained in recitation. Au contraire, they are deeply intelligent, capable of complex and rigorous achievement. The societal correction here should be unyielding.
Hear, 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 hear.
Hear, hear.
Indeed, Mr. Franklin, our nation can't remain both ignorant and free. And I fear what might go unachieved if we do not play it politically safe.
Individual advocacy is
Yeah.
paramount. There is no advancement in these adolescents without the clear mentoring of at least one adult. Unconditionally so, in fact. At the very least, they are worth this much.
Hear, hear.
And worth high-quality instruction. No one should be deprived of proper education because of poverty, disability, instructional incompetence, or administrative indifference.
Hear, hear.
Might I add that the instruction in this newly independent cause should be engaging and relevant, but just as importantly, integrated. Imagine the learning achieved when the beauty of mathematics is revealed in life sciences, language, constructs, and music, social studies illuminated through dance, and physical health empowered through media literacy.
Ah, there's one.
Yes.
These are bold and dangerous statements, my colleague from Virginia. Are you sure we're up for this task?
General Washington, we are not aged oaks in a summer storm. We are cloaked with the courage of our convictions. Do not doubt the robust fortitude found here. These declarations of independence from the tyranny of an unresponsive and entrenched education system are not for the faint of heart. Are we all in accord with this common courage? Will each of your constituencies support what we decide here today, tearing asunder only if we fail to unify?
Indeed, we have the backbone to do right by our middle-level colleagues and students. We will do the following: ask the larger questions of what we do and transcend formulaic responses. We will teach in the ways students best learn, not the way we best learn.
Hear, hear. So, we shall practice restorative justice. We shall walk side by side our students who make mistakes, so they're not labeled with beyond no recovery. We shall practice accurate and distinguished measurements of grading. We shall reinforce the positive fiction reading so it enhances critical thinking, imagination, and discourse for disclosure. And we will have a master schedule that is based off of best practices. We will not sacrifice best practices for a master schedule.
Ah, hear, hear.
We will make learning one of conversation, not of consumption.
Yes, and teachers will no longer be the final arbiters of knowledge. No, students will surpass our lessons and wisdom, and we will make it policy, I say, that no students shall be removed from physical education, fine and performing arts, or technology class in order to double up for remediation for state exams.
Hear, hear.
Hear, 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 hear.
Yes, we will put vocational training back in middle school.
Yes.
We will study executive function and how to develop student self-efficacy. We will be responsive to students' needs and varying backgrounds, never instituting one-size-fits-all instruction. For our students, every effort will be made to help them survive the day and navigate the week, not focus on post-high school success 4 to 6 years hence.
Hear, hear.
I'm not throwing away their shots. I'm not throwing away their shots. Just like our nation divided and aching for conversation, I'm not throwing away their shots. We'll create a moral imperative. Stop talking of impoverished in the pejorative. Students need tools, courage to be candid, just like their forefathers and mothers did. They'll stay woke to race, class, and LGBTQ. But not if they gotta holler just to be heard with every word. They give hope to all that we do. We shall not relent. No education bully shall give us consent to distort the truth. We shall set them straight. It's time to get it down and formulate. We are not throwing away their shots. We are not throwing away their shots. We are not throwing away their shots.
My. What do you call this form of address, Mr. Hamilton?
Hip-hop. It's gonna make history cool again.
Well, do you have one for science or mathematics?
We working on it. Pascal had his triangle. Fibonacci had his sequence. Let's see how they made a difference.
Oh, gentlemen, I think we have settled the matters at hand. I think I have captured our cause accurately and am prepared to present our proposals forthwith. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now proclaim our Declaration of Middle-Level Independence. The unanimous declaration of the middle-level educators of the world. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one education level to dissolve the political bands which have constricted them to ineffective structures and practices, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the vetted knowledge of young adolescents entitle them, a decent respect for the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to this separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That all middle-level students are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, learning, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, school systems are instituted by local communities and informed professionals, deriving their just existence from the wisdom of accomplished practitioners and researchers, that whenever a school system becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of these educators to alter or to abolish that operation and to institute a new, more effective instructional experience for middle-level students, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect students' academic success, personal safety, and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate the junior high school formats long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience has shown that complacent schools are more disposed to suffer than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of unresponsive, ineffective practices occurs, it is their right and their duty to throw off such practices and to provide new guards for their future success. Let the facts be submitted to a serious world. Mr. Adams, continue from there.
May I? Thank you. Early adolescence is a distinct period of human growth and development, situated between childhood and adolescence. 10 to 15-year-olds experience rapid and significant developmental change, more so than at any other time except for birth to 2 years old. There are significant increases in height, weight, as well as changes in skeletal and muscular systems, with growth spurts occurring about 2 years earlier in girls than boys. Significant fluctuations in metabolism and hormones cause periods of restlessness and lassitude, as well as high-risk behaviors such as alcohol or drug use, sexual activity, hair production, skin changes. Different rates of maturity cause many students to feel uncomfortable about differences in their physical development.
In early adolescence, synaptic pruning is actively restructuring the brain's neurological circuitry. The prefrontal cortex, an area of the brain that handles executive functions such as time, management, planning, moral and abstract reasoning, anticipating consequences, sustaining attention, and making decisions, continues to develop at different rates within the same individual, let alone across the student body of any one school. They also vary in intellectual development, but they are deeply curious, eager to learn about topics that connect to their world, responding well to exploratory programs that expose themselves to many different subjects and skills. They need active, over-passive learning experiences and physical movement and interactions with peers during class activities. They need for affiliation, and belonging is vital. Teaming and service learning advance positive places for them to connect with one another in a larger community.
Young adolescents have the capacity for abstract thought. They can develop and test hypotheses, analyze and synthesize data, grapple with complex concepts, think reflectively, understand the nuances of metaphors, derive meaning from traditional wisdom, and experience metacognition. They can think through ideological topics, argue a position, challenge adult directives, and engage in democratic principles. They respond very well to reflections of their music and culture in their learning. What? As well as choice in their learning activities. And they appreciate sophisticated humor, including satire and parody.
They're inquisitive about adults and are often keen observers of adult behavior. Moreover, they have an enhanced ability to think about the future, anticipate their own needs, and develop personal goals. During early adolescence, many of the attitudes and values that young adolescents develop remain with them for life. They move away from blanket acceptance of adult moral judgment to the development of their own personal values. They're idealistic and possess a strong sense of fairness. They move from being self-centered to considering the rights and feelings of others.
Young adolescents often pose broad, unanswerable questions about life and refuse to accept trivial responses from adults. They move from identifying themselves by the tasks and skills they perform well to experimenting with various roles and experiences. They are increasingly aware of ethnic identity and search for adult acceptance, both while striving to maintain peer approval. Feelings of conflict may arise due to competing allegiances, and their search for identity can make them vulnerable, which is often exacerbated by the influences of social media and their lack of media literacy.
They are often self-conscious and highly sensitive to criticism of their perceived personal shortcomings. They may be childish, report to bullying, exaggerate simple events, and express naive opinions. They believe their experiences, feelings, and problems are unique. They need adults who understand them and who are willing to support their development, free from humiliation and sarcasm. They may be rebellious toward their parents and adults, yet tend to depend on them to survive each day. Well stated thus far, Mr. Jefferson.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, General. So, to bring this together, the desire for developmental responsiveness is what sets the middle school apart from its predecessor, the junior high. And today we make that daring initiative actionable. We here now petition for education redress. We appeal to the establishment's justice and magnanimity. Let these declarations be heard in every educative, legislative, and judicial body. We announce our independence from structures and programs that would thwart this great enterprise.
Here.
Here, then, are the four essential attributes of education of the young adolescent. That education is developmentally responsive, not one-size-fits-all, challenging for students, empowering, providing all students with the knowledge and skills they need to take responsibility for their lives, to address life's challenges, and to be creators of knowledge. And it is equitable, advocating for every student's right and capacity to learn.
Yes. To act upon these goals, we who are gathered together call for these 16 tenets of successful middle-level education. For this We believe
Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
students and teachers are engaged in active, purposeful learning. Curriculum is challenging, exploratory, integrative, and relevant. Educators use multiple learning and teaching approaches. Varied and ongoing assessments advance learning as well as measure it. A shared vision developed by all stakeholders guides every decision. Leaders are committed to and knowledgeable about this age group, educational research, and best practices. Leaders demonstrate courage and collaboration. Ongoing professional development reflects best educational practices. Organizational structures foster purposeful learning and meaningful relationships. The school environment is inviting, safe, inclusive, and supportive of all. Every student's academic and personal development is guided by an adult advocate. Comprehensive guidance and support services meet the needs of young adolescents. Health and wellness are supported in curricula, school-wide programs, and related policies. The school actively involves families in the education of their children. The school includes community and business partners, and educators value young adolescents and are prepared to teach them. They make a conscious choice to work with young adolescents and be their advocates.
Hear, 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 hear.
We, therefore, the representatives of a united coalition of middle-level educators in General Congress, assemble, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good students of these communities, solemnly publish and declare that these united middle schools are, and of right, ought to be free and independent of the policies and practices of both high school and elementary school. That we are absolved of all allegiance to the antiquated junior high model. We recognize that the years of early adolescence are pivotal and abound with individual potential and opportunity. We will care for these students personally, listen to their voices, respect their concerns, and engage them in meaningful educational experiences that will prepare them for a promising future. We will not assign blame for student lack of preparation in our classes to circumstance or elementary school instruction, nor will we subordinate developmentally appropriate teaching practices in our grade levels because those in grade levels above us do not use them. We will ignite educator intellect and professionalism, and we shall be experts in 10 to 15-year-olds, manifesting that expertise in our classrooms daily.
As free and independent programs, middle schools will have full power to levy instructional fortitude, conclude meaningful learning and student safety, contract resources appropriate for our students' developmental levels, establish structures, policies, and professional development that leads to student success, and to do all other acts and things which highly effective middle schools may have right do, and for the support of this middle-level declaration, with a firm reliance on established principles of effective middle-level instruction and on keen devotion to the innovations to come from thoughtful educators in the years ahead, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Declared and signed this day in the city of Philadelphia by these outstanding middle-level educators so gathered.
Okay, all that stuff about us and what we're going through was way too much information.
Yeah, and I am not self-centered. Got it. Gonna post it on Instagram and make everyone believe in democracy again.
The way they talk, though, it's more than just about us. It's about the future of our countries. These people thought middle school was so important that they declared their independence from high school and elementary school.
Could we matter that much to the future of our world? And maybe like one day, when we're like really old and super, really ancient, we could, teach?
How did I miss it? The clues were there all along.
Indeed, Benita, you have it right. You and your generation are our national treasure. The time is now. The choice is yours. Be active and share what you know about middle-level students and their instruction with your communities so that they can make informed decisions. Find the courage to do what is right. Our future is in your hands. See you all next year in Orlando. Where are we going?
We're going to Disney World!
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Walt as Hamilton. Lori as Benjamin Franklin. Michelle as James Monroe. Bob is John Adams. Chad is General Washington. I'm Rick Warman as Jefferson, and now the stars of our show. Dante! Lainey! Raina! The future of our country. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.